On the morning of the 3rd of June 2011, the vibrant college town of Bloomington, Indiana, awoke to a chilling void. Lauren Elizabeth Spierer, a 20-year-old sophomore at Indiana University, had vanished without a trace after a night of partying. Last seen stumbling barefoot down a quiet street in the early hours, the petite New Yorker with a bright smile left behind a trail of unanswered questions that have haunted her family, friends, and investigators for over a decade. As of September 2025, 14 years later, the case remains unsolved, a stark reminder of the fragility of young lives and the shadows that lurk in familiar places. Lauren Spierer was born on January 17, 1991, in Scarsdale, New York, a leafy suburb north of Manhattan known for its affluent families and top-tier schools. Her parents, Charlene and Robert Spierer, provided a stable upbringing. Robert worked as an accountant, and the family was active in their Jewish community. Lauren attended Edgemont High School, where she excelled academically and socially, graduating in 2009. That fall, she headed to IU's Bloomington campus to pursue a degree in textiles merchandising, drawn by the school's renowned Kelley School of Business program. At 5 feet 3 inches tall and weighing about 100 pounds, Lauren was described by those who knew her as outgoing, adventurous, and full of life. She was involved in Hillel, IU's Jewish student organization, and had even traveled to Israel during a spring break to plant trees with the Jewish National Fund. Her social circle at IU included friends she had met years earlier at Camp Tawanda in Pennsylvania, such as Jay Rosenbaum and her boyfriend, Jesse Wolfe. These connections formed the backbone of her college experience, filled with typical student activities, classes, parties, and late-night hangs. But beneath the surface, Lauren grappled with a medical condition, long QT syndrome, a heart rhythm disorder that could be exacerbated by stimulants or dehydration. Friends later recalled her as someone who enjoyed socializing but wasn't known for excessive risk-taking. Yet, on that fateful night, a confluence of alcohol, drugs, and poor decisions would unravel everything. The evening of the 2nd of June 2011 began innocently enough for Lauren. She started drinking around 10 p.m. at her apartment in Smallwood Plaza, an off-campus complex popular with IU students. By midnight, her intoxication was evident. At approximately 12:30 a.m. on June 3, she left with friend David Rohn, heading to Rosenbaum's nearby apartment at 622 North Dunn Street. There, they met Corey Rossman, another acquaintance from their camp days. The group continued drinking, with reports later emerging that Lauren consumed alcohol mixed with cocaine and crushed Klonopin, a benzodiazepine often used for anxiety but dangerous when combined with other substances. These drugs, according to witnesses interviewed years later, were not uncommon in their social scene, but Lauren's heart condition made the cocktail particularly risky. Around 1:46 a.m., surveillance footage captured Lauren entering Kilroy's Sports Bar on Kirkwood Avenue, a bustling downtown spot frequented by students. She was visibly unsteady, but the bar allowed her entry despite her fake ID, a detail that would later lead to citations against the establishment. By 2:27 a.m., she exited with Rossman, leaving behind her cell phone, keys, wallet, and shoes. Barefoot and disoriented, Lauren relied on Rossman to guide her. Video from Smallwood Plaza showed Rossman carrying her over his shoulder into the complex around 2:30 a.m., where a concerned passerby, Zach Oakes, stopped to check on her. Oakes later told police she seemed extremely intoxicated but alive. The night grew more fragmented from there. At 2:48 a.m., cameras caught Lauren entering an alley between College Avenue and Morton Street, her belongings scattering along the path, keys and purse found later by searchers. She emerged at 2:51 a.m., staggering alone. By 3:30 a.m., she arrived at Rosenbaum's apartment again, accompanied by Rossman and his roommate Mike Beth. Rosenbaum noted a bruise under her eye and said she was incoherent, making 2 unanswered calls from his phone. A pivotal new detail from recent investigations reveals that at around 3 a.m., while Lauren lay incapacitated on a curb outside, Rossman made a mysterious phone call to an unidentified recipient, contradicting his claims of amnesia from an alleged punch to the head earlier that night. Cell records confirmed the interaction, raising questions about what transpired in those blurry hours. At 4:30 a.m., Lauren was last seen leaving Rosenbaum's apartment, heading south on College Avenue toward 11th Street. She wore black leggings and a white tank top, her small frame silhouetted against the pre-dawn quiet. Rosenbaum watched her go, later saying she insisted on walking home alone despite her state. She never arrived at her apartment, just a few blocks away. By morning, Jesse Wolfe, who had texted her goodnight earlier, grew worried when she didn't respond. Around noon, he sent another message, which was answered by a Kilroy's employee using her forgotten phone. Wolfe reported her missing to police shortly after. The immediate aftermath was a frenzy of activity. On June 4, Charlene and Robert Spierer flew from New York to Bloomington, their worst fears mounting. By June 5, a Twitter account launched, amassing 20,000 followers and drawing national media attention through celebrity retweets. Hundreds of volunteers organized daily searches starting June 6, combing woods, lakes, and campus grounds. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children dispatched a team, assigning Lauren case. Major networks like NBC's Today and ABC's Good Morning America covered the story on June 7, amplifying the urgency. Bloomington Police, aided by IU Police and the FBI, executed warrants for surveillance footage and DNA from persons of interest.
Another thing that we are working on is from that same video analysis would be video enhancement of a vehicle or a couple of vehicles that we may request information from the public. And I'm not in a position at this point to tell you exactly what type of vehicle, what color, or anything like that.
Divers scoured Lake Monroe on June 8 based on tips, while Colts owner Jim Irsay offered a $10,000 reward. The Spierers upped the ante to $100,000 on June 9. By June 10, police named 10 persons of interest, including Rossman, Rosenbaum, Beth, Rohn, and Wolfe. Rossman and Beth submitted DNA samples, but others hired lawyers and declined public polygraphs, citing distrust in the department. A white van seen on video near the last sighting sparked 500 tips and conspiracy theories, but leads fizzled. The investigation expanded dramatically. In August 2011, a 9-day dig at the Sycamore Ridge landfill processed 4,000 tons of trash from Bloomington, yielding nothing. Tips poured in, over 3,500 by 2016, but breakthroughs eluded detectives. In April 2015, parallels emerged with the murder of IU student Hannah Wilson, found beaten near campus after leaving Kilroy's. Suspect, Daniel Messel, was investigated for a Spierer link, but cleared. A 2016 FBI raid on a Martinsville property tied to Justin Wagers, a stalker, also drew blanks. Despite exhaustive efforts, no body, no crime scene, and no arrests. At the center were the persons of interest, young men from Lauren's circle whose stories shifted under scrutiny. Rossman claimed memory loss from a fight. Rosenbaum said he urged her to stay but let her leave. Beth was largely silent. Wolfe, though not out that night, faced questions over his relationship. In 2013, the Spierers sued Rossman, Rosenbaum, and Beth for negligence in Lauren's 2011 disappearance, suspecting a cover-up. Lawsuits were dismissed by 2014. Rossman's 3 a.m. call raised doubts. The main theory: Lauren overdosed on alcohol, cocaine, and Klonopin, triggering cardiac arrest due to her long QT syndrome. Friends may have hidden her body to avoid charges. Her parents suspect drugging at Kilroy's. Foul play or abduction theories lack evidence. Sean Cohen's 2024 book notes Lauren vanished in plain sight. The Spierers, believing her dead since 2011, fund searches and urge tips. After 14 years, her case remains unsolved, a haunting tale of silence and loss.